This year, it's been torched in Texas,
Hell no. We're putting up more flags.
burned down in Kentucky,
It could have easily caught a house on fire.
in Baltimore,
Those who identify as LGBTQ+ are at higher risk for mental health issues than heterosexual people.
Discrimination against LGBTQ Americans has drastically increased in the last 2 years.
The problem is, there are still way too many states that don't have anti-discrimination laws at all.
I realized I was attracted to women when I was in elementary school at a very young age. Because of that, I've been isolated myself from my parents. I wouldn't talk to them about my personal feelings, especially relationships with others, because I don't want to upset them or make them feel frustrated if they find out I'm gay. And as I grow up, I feel less emotionally connected to them because I've been keeping such a big part of myself hidden. And it's really tough, but I feel it's necessary to protect myself.
When I'm hanging out with my colleagues, I find out it's hard to express my interest in girls that I have a crush on because they assume that I'm straight. So they often ask me questions like, do you have a boyfriend, and I can set you up if you are single? And it can be really, really annoying, but it's hard to come out in my workplace.
Today, in most states, an LGBT person can get married on Saturday, post photos of their wedding on Sunday, and they get fired from their job or thrown out of their apartment on Monday just because of who they are.
As I started to realize that I was a lesbian, I noticed that there was a distance growing between my mother and me. We used to be very close when I was younger, but now I avoid talking about my dating life with her because I know it's gonna be upset her.
Especially with your family. So that becomes the hardest part. So when we look at the stages, you know, the second to last stage is coming out to close friends, but the very last stage is usually coming out to your family. And that's, I think, so important that they feel their family members may not be accepting.
I had to leave my hometown to find a place that is more accepting to LGBTQ individuals, which meant taking on many challenges like learning new language and adapting to different cultures, all because of my sexual orientation. Even in this new place, I still have to be careful about coming out to people because I'm afraid they might not want to be my friend anymore just because of my identity. This can make me feel anxious at times.
We're talking 4 times more likely to attempt suicide than the average population. So we have made strides in terms of talking about it and having awareness, but we certainly have not made near enough strides around the actual mental health and process of what this is actually like.
Whenever I have to use a public restroom, I feel really anxious because I've had experiences where people stare at me. I know that it's probably because of how I look and they might have questions about my gender, but it still feels offensive, annoying, and also impolite. And sometimes when I come out of the restroom, I can tell that people are discussing me and it makes me feel really uncomfortable and upset. And this has happened to me so many times throughout my life. And it's made me feel really depressed and scared of going to a public restroom. And it's really frustrating that there aren't more gender-neutral restrooms available in public spaces because it would make things so much easier and more comfortable for people like me.
There is a real lack of social opportunities for LGBTQ community, especially when it comes to lesbian bars. Over the past few years, we've seen many of these bars disappeared from New York City. There used to be over 30 of them, but now there are only a handful left. This can make it really difficult to meet people who share the same identity as me.
I think it's time to address the mental health issues and discrimination faced by the LGBTQ community and work towards creating a world where everyone can feel accepted and supported.
We need to prioritize the development of more resources and support for the LGBTQ community to ensure that everyone has access to the necessary tools to live happy, healthy lives.